presenting a resolution honoring Paul Doris as the Grand Marshal of the 246th Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. With Paul Doris and those accompanying him, please join the council members at the podium, please, which is right here in front of us. What's this? Okay. So the chair is going to recognize Councilman Johnson, Councilman O'Neill, and Councilman Clark, and Councilwoman Kim for the presentation. Dancers. Yeah. Dancers. If you just stand by for a moment, we have an additional treat. Thank you, girls. I want to thank a few people before we start the presentation. I want to thank Joe Tobin, the bagpipers, and Olivia Hippo and the rink dancers. All right, they did a wonderful job. The 1960 committee. Want to thank them for being here. The parade committee, which is behind me, I happen to be a proud member of the St. Patrick's Observance Day Committee, who was present by our president, Chris Phillips, and the parade committee chairman, Mike Bradley. So I want to thank you all. I want to thank Olivia Hipple and, again, Joe Tobin for their presentation here today. With that, all right, honoring Paul Doris as the Grand Marshal of the 246th Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. All right, whereas Paul Doris was born and raised in Collisland County, Tyrone, where he first experienced religious discrimination and injustice. The political upheaval in Northern Ireland also has had a profound impact in his life. Paul turned to Gaelic football as an escape to the troubles in his homeland. And
whereas Paul endured the anguish of several family tragedies over the course of the next few years, so when offered the opportunity to play Gaelic football in Philadelphia in 1974, Paul jumped at the chance and immigrated to the United States. And whereas 2 short years later, Paul met and married the love of his life, Rosemary. Together, they have 2 children, Deirdre and Brendan, and 5 grandchildren. And whereas Paul was an active member of Teamsters Local 115 for 32 years, rising through the ranks and becoming shop steward until his retirement in 2011, and
whereas Paul's love of Gaelic football has never waned. Paul is a founding member of the Shamrocks football team and has been an active member in the GAA since he arrived in Philadelphia. He also owns the distinction of being the only referee from Philadelphia to officiate the North American Football Final, and whereas Paul also played a prominent role in the establishment and progressive agenda of the Freedom of Irish Societies in an effort to ensure the Irish community in Philadelphia was united in their opposition to the British injustice in Ireland. And whereas
as a member of Irish Northern Aid, Paul is still active in marches, protests, and fundraising for this cause, and has served as the national president of INA. Paul has been honored in both the United States and Ireland for his years of service in the pursuit of Irish freedom. Whereas, in addition to recognizing Paul's distinction of serving as Grand Marshal of this parade, the Ring of Honor this year will also include Matt Reagan, Kevin McGillian, Siobhan Traynor, James McPaul, Eileen Daly, Pierce Kerr, Jerry McHale, Francis Duffy, and Pat Bonner. And
the 2016 St. Patrick's Day Parade will recognize the sacrifice of those who took part in one of Ireland's most historic events, the 1916 Easter Uprising. The Irish diaspora in Philadelphia provided political, moral, and financial support for the uprising, so it is fitting that in the very city that our own Declaration of Independence was signed, the St. Patrick's Day Observance Association pays homage to those who declared Ireland's independence from British rule on Easter, Monday, April 24th, 1916, and now therefore.
I had to put the sash over the right shoulder. All right, excuse me. Therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Philadelphia that we hereby honor and congratulate Paul Doris as the Grand Marshal of the 246th Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. Resolve further that an engrossed copy of this resolution be presented to Paul Doris, further evidencing the graceful and appreciation, deep admiration of this legislative body. So I want to thank him, everybody here who's joining us, and a little point of personal privilege. Before we bring up our Grand Marshal for remarks, one of our other members that are up here to join, we all know John McNesby. It's his birthday today. Happy 50th birthday, Mr. McNesby.
The chair warmly recognizes Mr. Paul Doris for remarks.
First of all, I'd like to thank Council President Clark and Council Member Henon for offering this resolution. I'm not going to say too much. I don't have a prayer or anything. I think we got that, so I'll try and keep this short. This year, as I said, is a very, very important year in the history of Ireland. We have had a long, troubled past, but in 1916, men and women took up arms against the British, which our ancestors here did in the 1700s, because with the simple goal of ruling their own country. We don't need any interference from anybody else to rule our country. So they knew that it was almost a failed cause, but they said before they died, 15 of them were executed within a week. They said before they died, at least their sacrifice will awake the nation of Ireland, which it did. And a few years after that, we won independence for 26 of the 32 counties. We still have 6 to get. England has plundered the world over. The only little colony left is Northern Ireland. It's not even the size of Pennsylvania. And it's not much for us to ask, for us to work for, is that little bit united along with the rest of Ireland to make one Ireland whole and proud again. So I'll just leave it at that. I just want to thank the Parade Committee for acknowledging 1916 this year, the 100th anniversary. And I'd like to remind people that on April the 24th, over here at Independence Hall, we're having a celebration on the actual date that it happened, which is April 24th, 1916. I'd like to thank my wife, my family, and all the people that's here today. And once again, the City Council, you have been great to us down through the years, and I hope it continues. Thank you very much.
Council will be at ease.